One. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to class. I hope you all enjoyed our first session, and I hope you get to learn more today also. So let's kickstart. Oh, before that, remember the first 30 minutes it's theory, and the second half of the class will be majorly practical. Even more things today. So let's kickstart. So let's hide this. Yeah. So yesterday we learned how to control AI. Today, we connect AI to the real world because AI alone is powerful, but AI connected to API, that's the major system. So, automation is not about writing prompts, it's about the orchestration. So, now let's start with what is API? Now, API stands for Application Programming Interface, but let's simplify it this way. An API is like a waiter in a restaurant. So you send a request, the kitchen process it, and you get a response, which is your food. So that is just how API really works. And we're going to even practice more and use some APIs today. So API basics. So every API interaction has about five things. Number one, endpoint. That is where you send your request. We have method. That is how you get or how you post your request. Then we have headers, that is the major instructions. We have the body, which is data you send, and the response, which is what you get. Do you understand? So the major automation rule is that if you understand what request and response is, then you understand 80% of how software are actually built. So let's sit and even learn more. So get and post. What do I mean by get and post? Get, you're going to see this a lot, and post, you're going to see it a lot when we work with APIs. Get is give me data, just as simple as it is. While post is here is your data. In automation, we mostly fetch, send, or transform data. So JSON is, let's say, most APIs, their language that they use in communicating, they use a language called JSON. JSON is a structured text. If you understand JSON, you understand modern automation. So let me show you something. So, for example, I showed you yesterday. Sometimes when you see any code written this way with bracket open, bracket close, we have a few text here that shows how information you communicate with the system using JSON. First, I'm specifying the temperature here to be 32. I specify city as Lagos. Don't get scared. We're not doing programming, but just get to understand. Anytime I see a code like this is probably JSON. Do you understand? Okay. So let's go to the next page. Passing responses. So this is where beginners get confused. I know. So APIs return big, messy objects. The major automation skill you get is that you extract only what you need. That is how you when you pass information. So we don't store the entire objects or informations we get. We extract the major signals, which is the information that you and I can read clearly. You understand? So next, privacy and cost. What do I mean by that? So every API call costs actually something. It costs you something. So for you to communicate with an API, you have to you incur a few things: money, the rate limits, and security risk. So we every time you order or every time you make an API request, you pay for everything. So you have to ensure whenever you're calling to an API, you have to limit it and note that you have to structure whatever you're going to be reaching out for. So never send unnecessary data to AI. Never expose private keys. I will show you what that is. Always use environment variables. Okay, automation logic. So automation is simple logic. If you notice what we did yesterday, you have a trigger, you have an action, you have a condition, and you have a major output. Do you get it? So if this, then that. That's simply what automation is. If this, then that. You will see when we start implementing more tasks today, you will understand how we do or implement these tasks. Then I mentioned N8N yesterday. I hope you guys already know what N8N is, and this shouldn't be a big word to you. So N8N is a visual automation engine which we use in building different automations. So instead of you writing code, we connect nodes together. So now you can build an entire automation without you writing a single line of code, hopefully. So each node does one thing, and together they create the entire system. I hope you're following me. So today we are going to build another system, and I hope this will even boost your interest in automation. So triggers. So every automation starts with a trigger. So we have a webhook, that is a type of trigger. We have schedules, and nothing runs without them. So you can't start any automation without a trigger. You have the actions, that is what happens after you've triggered a particular request or you've performed an action. So what happens next after a trigger is an action. So actions do the work. Do you understand? So you can call API, you can send email, you can query a database, or even call another API or call another AI. Do you get it? So conditions create the intelligence. I hope you're following me. So let me see. I hope I've not gone too far. Yeah. So conditions create the environment. Then for today's build, we're going to be building a webhook that connects to a weather API, then if route statement, then we'll do AI formatting, then the response. So today I don't want to talk too much about the necessary theories. I want us to experiment so that you also can know how to build your own automation. So right now, I hope you understand what API is, what JSON is, and what asset communicates together. So, like I mentioned earlier, about conditions. So, conditions create the intelligence. So, for example, if you say temperature is greater than 30, then send it alert to me, maybe through SMS or through Telegram or any other instance. Then, if intent equals weather, then call weather app. Don't worry, we are going to practice that out. Though I just remembered we might not be able to practice out weather app because we have to pay for the API to use. I will show you how to build your own weather app if you want to try it out after this course. So no issues about that. Okay, so let's go to next. Yeah, okay. So let's do a quick practice. Today's course might be short, but I hope you get to learn a lot. We'll do more practicals today. So let's go to this. Now, the file I shared with you guys yesterday. So how do you build your own automation? Let's say you have an idea, but you don't even know how to build or start. You don't even know, okay, what to use. Now we have a structured template available on N8N website. So you built it yesterday. So click on this drop down and click on template. Let's say you want to build a weather app. All you have to do is just set up. So here you can see a lot of people who has done that. You can see automate weather report with GPT-4, flight deal analyzer with weather data, send multi-city weather forecast with AI enhanced formatting, then automated weather report. So all these, when you build it, they always communicate with an existing system, perhaps open weather map. So open weather map is an existing system. So let me just click on this, click here. So you can see the platform here. Open weather app map has the record of the weather for the entire world, for any country, for any city in the world. So let's try Lagos, Nigeria. So can you see this? So I just clicked on it. Now I have the entire data for the weather all through today, the map, what is going to happen at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 p.m. or a.m. Now I mentioned API earlier. So for you to communicate with this open weather map, instead of you having to build your own weather map from scratch, you can communicate with existing system. So all you have to do is just automate the entire process. So now You click on get API key, you get the key, then use it in your system to perform any operations you want. Now, let's say you want to build a weather app, but you don't even know how to build it. So now I mentioned the templates. You have a lot of templates here you can practice with. Let's open the first three and I will show you how to make use of it. So let's open the first one. This was 4 months ago. Let's see if we can find something quite close. Now, this is one that was built just 12 days ago. Let's look for another one. Weather forecast email. So this is another one. So let's check the first automation. So here you can see this person built an entire weather report that communicates with ChatGPT 4 Mini and open. This is another API now. If you search it, you're going to find it. It sends the whole result to your Gmail or Slack. Now, this is an old template for you to use. So how do you make use of this? So all you have to do is click on use for free. Then you have several ways you can import a whole template into your project. First, you can click on copy template to clipboard or click on get started with, oh, no worry about this. So let's just go with this. So you click on copy. So you can host your N8N using, what's the name of this? Okay, I can't even remember the name anymore. So you can host it using your own personal server, or you can just go to N8N Cloud and sign up to use N8N. So now you already have an N8N account. I showed you how to create an account yesterday. So you click on copy, then you go to your project, then you can scroll down. Let's say you create a new project. All you just have to do is just paste, Control V, and that's all. Can you see here? We have everything here in just one click. So remember what I did? I went to the website, clicked on the first menu here, clicked on template, searched for any automation I want to build, open it into a new tab, and I clicked on use for free. Some are paid. So if you have the money to pay, good, but I will advise you not to pay for anything yet. Just try out the free versions. So let's close this one. This is another weather app. So you can see get enriched location weather and time zone data using free APIs. The breakdown of what the person did is all written here. You can follow through how to get the API keys, how to do all this. We're going to practice one project today. So let's say I want to use this. I click on use for free. I click on copy. Then I go to my file. I can zoom out, then paste, and that's all. Now you can see I just moved this entire project, as you can see here, into my file. Then I can start making modifications to this, because if I try to run this, let me delete this. Let's try to run this project, execute. Now, the system is running. You can see now this worked well. The first one worked well. It was able to pick data from the weather using longitude and latitude. You can see all the data came out. Then you can see format. So wherever you're able to format the information that is pulled out. But now I'm trying to communicate to my Gmail and my Slack, and this is not working. Do you get? So that is where you talk about using the API from Gmail or connecting your system with this so that you can communicate with third-party platforms within anything. So let's delete this. So, like I mentioned, we worked on trending topic researcher yesterday, and we also worked on social media content generator. I hope this was fun for you guys. So today we are going to work on a much complex project. I called it a mini business idea generator. So everything we talked about, get, post, APIs, we're going to practice it out today. So I have two projects here. Both are the same, but in different ways. So this is a mini business idea generator, and this is a custom business idea generator that allows you to give input. Now, let me do something. Okay, let me show you something first before I go into this. Let's try one of these weather apps so that you can see. Let me see if I can bring it. Okay, great. So now we mentioned get, we mentioned post earlier, and you might be wondering what exactly is get, what is post. Now, and I mentioned webhook. So what webhook is, I'm going to show you those things right now using this template so that you can understand how it works. So webhook is what is the interface you use in communicating with external data. So get is what you use in doing what, just like the English word get, something that you're trying to fetch information, and post is what, displaying a particular information. Right now, remember what we talked about earlier. We said we have trigger, we have the action, and we have the conditions or the result, right? So now this is a trigger. I showed you how to get a trigger, what the trigger is yesterday. So this is your trigger. That is what you use to start an operation or execute an entire workflow. So you have get now. So how do you bring this in? So let me just show you the trigger and get one more time. So let's say trigger, just type it here. Then you can see different types of trigger here. You can click on manual. What happened just now? Okay, let's try again. Click on this trigger. Only one manual trigger. Oh, I think I have another trigger somewhere that is active. So let's try and deactivate this. Okay, let's see if this works. Do I have another trigger that is active somewhere? Oh, okay, this is it. I guess because I've already added a manual trigger here, hence why it's not allowing me to do that. So let me just delete this. Let's pray it works. And if it doesn't, hopefully it works at your end. Okay, no, that didn't work. Trigger. Okay, yeah, finally. So you can click on this. Then I have this return back here. So that is your trigger. So you connect your trigger to your entire workflow, and this will be your starting point. Now, I mentioned webhook earlier. So let's remember what I just did. I get, so you didn't notice, I press letter D to activate and D to deactivate an entire workflow so that you don't have conflict workflows on your page. So now, how do you bring this in? So the webhook. So you just type webhook, and that's all. Okay. So you can start. Remember during the presentation earlier, I mentioned you can start a flow using a webhook, and you can also still use a webhook within your system, or even HTTP request. That is another way for you to, perhaps you want to write your own code yourself, or perhaps you have a direct platform where you want to pick the information from. So let's delete this. So you can see this here is the same as this. Now, how do you use this? You can decide. Remember what we said, you can use get, you can use post. Get is you fetching the information. So if you want to fetch information from a weather app, what will you use get, then you enter the link to the website where you want to pull the information from. So let's delete this. Let's open this out now. You can see this now. This is communicating with a public weather platform where you can pull information about the weather. Then it pulls the information for you, displays it out, then you can format it and use it however you want. So that is just the simple way of either getting information or perhaps if you want to post also. So let's just quickly go through our major projects today. So we're going to be building a mini business idea generator. So I'm going to walk you through how I built this so that you also can replicate it. Remember what we said? Your first input into building a workflow is what? Your trigger. So you add your trigger. Your trigger, you have several kinds of trigger. I already showed you yesterday. You can refer back to the previous course. Then what is this called? This is called an AI agent. Yes, that's correct. So this AI agent helps you to specify your prompt. You remember the structure for your prompt, whereby you write the description, the task, the conditions, and a few other things. So that you can refer back to the previous class. Now let's quickly test this out. Then I will show you how it is built so that we can do it from scratch. So let's say execute. So what the system is doing right now, you can see how this is rotating, then going through all these flows, then to go straight through the last one. So I will explain how it works, then we create it from scratch. Okay, it's loading. So while it's processing, let me just show you exactly what happened just now. Now, our AI agent that I built here is used to specify or create a business idea. Now, the major information or the major engine, like I mentioned yesterday, is this is the engine that helps you to control everything that is going to be generated and communicate with other tools. Now, you have a description of what the system does. This is your prompt user message. Research and analyze an innovative business idea. Now, here, how did I get this? I added a system prompt. Remember where I talked about having a structured prompt? I have a description of what the system is. So you're a business research expert, research and analyze innovative business ideas in emerging markets, technology trends, or solving real world problems. So you specify the tasks the system should do, then you provide a comprehensive analysis covering, you specify other things you should do, like provide business idea title, provide the problem it solves, and every other thing. Then you will also give it detailed information on what it should be specific about, or perhaps you don't want some necessary information, you have to specify that to the system. So how do you do this in case you didn't remember? So all you have to do is click on the plus icon here and type agent. So you click on AI agent, you can close this out. There you can see now we have the same thing. So how did I connect this? I mentioned yesterday for you to connect with existing perhaps chat model, all you have to do is on chat model. Then you can use perhaps chat GPT. Just scroll down and click on OpenAI. And you can, I mentioned we're going to be using GPT 4.1. Then that's all. You see, I'm creating everything from scratch. So I can right click on this and rename. That's how I wrote business idea generator or researcher, wherever you want to call it. You get it now. So what is the meaning of this? I mentioned yesterday that you can also add more assets. This is memory, like your hard drive or your flash drive. So this is a digital memory you can add here for you to save information, for you to come back again to reprocess. Now, I mentioned you can attach a lot of tools. Yesterday, I think we attached a parser here. So today, I'm going to attach another tool called SEP API. Now, I hope you're getting somewhere we are going to now. I mentioned how you can communicate with third-party API. I showed you that of the weather app just right now. So we're going to practice one right now, how you can communicate with any API. So I want to use a third-party tool called SEP API. This is like the Google engine for you to make research, for you to allow your workflow to go online and make research about anything you're trying to build. Do you follow me? So I'm going to click on this and click on SERP API. You can see Google search. So I'm going to close this out. You can see now we have exactly what we have here. Okay, let me add the trigger on the left. Even I can create a manual trigger. So let's just click this and I'm going to delete this one. Okay, you can see now it's just as simple as that. We're done. Now, what did I do next? I added the prompt. So where you specify what the system should do. So I open this, then I can tell it define below. You can either add it, I didn't teach you how to create a system prompt yesterday. So you can add your default system prompt here however you want, and we can add it here however you want the information. But this here, let me show you something. The difference between a system prompt and a general prompt. A system prompt is the message. This message will be sent to the agent before the conversation starts. The real rule to every other thing you say. So the system follows this rule first before going through your user message. Do you understand? So now the user message, let's go back. Let's pick our user message. Copy. You can come here. Oh, yes, I guess you saw the bracket. It's not compulsory you have this, so you can delete this off. This is just plain user text. So you can just leave it as this. I hope I got this pen right here. Okay, good. So, and that's all. You're good to go. Now, let's run this. Oh, yeah. SEP API. Now, I mentioned what SEP API does. You need to connect this for it to work. So for you, this will be completely blank. How do you connect your API? Now, you click on create new credential. Creating new credential means you want to connect your workflow to the API. Remember what we talked about earlier? So how do you know where the API key is? All you have to do is what? Click on Open Docs. For any API you want to connect with, you're going to have something like that. Then you're going to have prerequisites. Then you can create a SEP API. So let's click on this into a new tab. So it goes to the website. This is what you're going to say first. So Google Search API. This is what your Google Map your Google browser or whatever Google asset you use, the normal Google search engine, this is the API using working. So you also can communicate with it. So here you can sign in, and after you sign in, to take you to a dashboard. Now, when you get to your dashboard, you have this, your private API key. So you copy this API key, then you can go into your file. So there is an icon here, you click on that. So you can go into your file, let's say, yes, then you paste the API here. Hope I was able to copy that. Okay, paste, make sure you paste only once. This is set to all, and you click on save. Automatic, can you see? Connection tested successfully. You can close this, you can close this, close this. Now let's disable this one. Now let's play. Do we have any other file? No. Okay, so let's execute this and let's see if it works. So what is happening right now? Immediately you trigger, the system is communicating with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is making Google search and checking latest information, goes back to ChatGPT, refreshes, ChatGPT goes to Google. So that you can see how the system is communicating to each other. It has gone to Google like 7 times right now. It has prompted ChatGPT about 5 times. You can see I'm not even writing any code. All I had to do is what? Tell my AI agent exactly what to do. So let me double click this. And you can see now we have a structured information out. So based on research, I've identified an innovative and high potential business idea in the emerging market AI-powered agricultural technology startup. Can you see? You wrote down the breakdown of the market structure, what you need to do to start, who are the competitors, what is the target market size, and that's all. You've actually generated a business idea yourself. Can you see that now? So let's continue with this. So I mentioned yesterday there's something called parser. That is what you use in structuring how the information is being released out. And you can also structure your input however you want. So let's delete this and let's bring all. I think we deleted your thing. So let's go back here. Okay. I guess we're taking much time. So I will still have to practice one more. So let me 1, 2, 3, okay, we're back on. I guess you get all this now. So I'll just picture you how this works. I won't go too much into the detail. So format research output. So what I'm trying to do here is formatting how the information is being displayed so that the information will be well structured. I mentioned that during the course today. So you have to ensure that is passing the right information. Remember what I said. You have to filter the entire results you got and get a clear result output. That's exactly what we are just doing here. So after that, what I did was check the message length. Now, this is called, we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, whereby limiting. So in case you've actually structured your information, you've already pulled everything out, but you're getting like a text of over 10,000 words, but you want to structure the information to show, okay, I don't want more than maybe 2,000 keywords, 2,000 words, or let's say by this one, I wrote only 4,096. So that's, okay, let's see what's happening. Okay, good. So remember what we tried out yesterday, whereby you're able to format your content display. So this is where you write out the code to display your entire information in an HTML format. Do you get? So that it makes it quite more easier for you to read. Remember when we generated the results earlier, you were seeing a lot of text here and it's not easy for you to read. Now let's see the difference in the first one and this second one we're going to generate. So let's click on execute. You can see now the system is communicating with ChatGPT, communicating with SEP API. SEP API is the Google form now, so it's going to internet to make research about a very good business idea for you. Format the research outputs, check the message length, displays it through HTML. Now let's double click it and see the results. Now, this is amazing. You can see now, all we got initially was something like a big jargon text here. Now, after we pass the information, we structure the output. You can see now we have a much cleaner content, and this is built right here in the system. Do you get it now? It's just as simple as that. So now you can see a business idea overview, plant-based food delivery system, our service. This is the problem you solve. This is the target market size. This is the revenue model. These are the key feature differentiators from your competitors, your market validation, implementation challenges, success potential, and the summary. It even added the date and time. Now, how did we get the whole content at once, well structured? Now, I did a cheat code. So I'll show you what I did. So now at default, if you were to add an HTML, let's say HTML5, and I click on this, generate HTML, at default, this is what you have. So let's try and do something. I'm going to, so in case you don't want to rerun the entire flow, remember what I said, when you are calling to an API, you are consuming data. So for you to ensure you limit the amount of time you consume data, I mentioned it just earlier. So you have to make sure you specify, or you don't you make sure you manage the amount of times you're calling to an API, because for every API call you do, you pay money for it. These are completely free right now, but for some other platform like the weather app I showed you earlier, you pay for every request. Do you get it now? So it's better you use you manage how many times you call an API. So for me to do that, there's something called, can you see? I did something just now. How did I turn this to purple? All I did was I highlighted this and I clicked on P. What that means is this. So let me double click this. So can you see this? This data is pinned for test executions. So what that happens is the information I've gotten so far at this particular stage, I don't want to regenerate it again. So that number one, it helps me to save API cost, because I don't have to go to Google or SEP API to request to make a new request. I don't have to go to ChatGPT to make a new request. Any data I've gotten before to this particular stage gets fixed. So if I want to do any other action, the whole operation that runs goes through only this section, but doesn't go from the start. Let me show you how it works. So I clicked on execute. Can you see what happened just now? Just went through immediately, no research, no SEP API, and the result is what? Shit. The results scattered because, okay, it doesn't work every time, but let me show you something. For this particular one, okay, because I am pulling information from here, let's start again. So let's play, deactivate. Okay, execute. Oh no, I didn't unlock this. But for you to understand, the reason why this is not working, I guess, is because we add a research app here, number one, and number two, we structured our information based on this. But when we are passing the information here, the system was not able to pick any information here to display. You can see it's now displaying again. So that is why the pin factor does not work here. But let's try this. Let me try something. I hope this works. Please work. Yeah, that works. So I guess the error was that I tried to pin this. That is where the issue came in. Now, every time I clicked on this, you can see the results that came out. Let's use a new HTML5 results, HTML5. So this is what I was trying to explain earlier. What happened? Okay, this is it. So you can delete this node, and I'll tell the system to send the information here, then click on play. Can you see now? I'm not fetching none of the information is being fetched here. Can you see now? So what I had to do was I had to modify this code, this HTML code here, to be able to make use of these informations that are here. For example, let me just click on where is the header, research, data, blah, blah, blah. So let's click on this. I can drag this now. Can you see this formatted information? I'll drag into the P section and let's execute. Can you see what happened just now? Now I was able to get the whole information here displayed out. Now I can decide, okay, the research date or something here. I can delete this. Delete. So I'm going to drag and drop the date at the middle, enter, then search. Can you see now? But the information displayed here is not well structured. So what I'm going to tell the system now is I can go to ChatGPT just for you to learn how to do this yourself. So let's undo this. Let's say this is the first content. So I can go to ChatGPT and tell it, okay, so come here. This is it. Now let's carry this up. This. So I'm going to tell it I have structured information. I pray it works. I have structured No, I have data or output data in this node, and it's connected to HTML5 node to display the information in a clean format. Help me refine the HTML code like a front-end developer. Okay, there's paste. I copied the code earlier, so I'm pasting it now. This took several minutes, or let's say a lot of time before I'm just trying to show you the process at which I did before I got to that particular stage. Do you understand? So I'm trying to paste. I don't know why it is taking so much time. Just because I'm running a lot of things. Okay, it's loading. 1 second. Okay. ChatGPT, let's work. Okay, I think it's back. I don't know if I'm running a particular code underneath that's affecting it. Okay, this make use of the JSON data but refined in the HTML. Okay, so remember what I did? I copied the data from the two nodes, and I've specified I should help me rewrite the HTML code. Why is it hanging now? Am I running that software? Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, so let's go back. I copied the two nodes here, this check message and this. So let's click on next. Let's hope ChatGPT gives us a good result. Good. Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to copy this code all the way here. Oh, to the HTML. Okay, from here to here. Okay, copy. Hope that works. So let's go to our HTML tag. Um, Still loading. Let's see if this works. And we still have one more project to test out, so I have to make this fast. Okay, so let's double click this now. Let's click on this and paste. So what I did was I highlighted the entire text and pasted the new text here. So let's execute. Okay, I think I know what happened. Okay, this is taking too much time to load. Okay, now you can see the difference. So that was on a single line. Okay, it's not picking any code. So let me show you a trick now. So let's say you try to work on this, and let's delete this one. But you notice what happened just now, so that you know how to do error handling. We're going to be talking about error handling in our next class, but lucky for you guys, we entered an error. So I will show you how it works. So now I clicked on play, but you can see no node output. But I don't know what to do, and I have no one to call. So what can I do? So if you zoom in, can you see something here called R to N8N AI? Now you can click on that and tell the AI to help you to check what is wrong and fix the output. You can see now it's showing HTML, so I can tell it to add to N8N too. So I'm combining the output from here to this one. Check Um, okay, let me add this. Should we remove this? Mm, okay, no problem. Just say check the inputs. Let's add this, no problem. Since we have the same information on the three, add this. So we have three nodes connected now. So the old research I want to do right now is that the system should check and fix whatever is wrong here. Let me first copy this into my clipboard so I don't make mistake. So now, uh, help me fix the HTML to display all necessary information perfectly. Okay, send. So you can see now the system has taken control of my platform and is building it out for me. So you can see how it is thinking. It's getting node parameters, checking all the inputs you have here. So it's updating the HTML node parameters now. Hopefully, let's hope it works. This is a new feature which you can see I just started exploring also. If it works, this would be a very big deal. So let's see. Instead of you having to go to ChatGPT code, you can do all within the system here. So it's validating the configuration. Okay. Okay, so now it says blah blah blah. Let's execute it. Let's see the information came out well. Good. Okay, let's double click this. Wow. Can you see this now? Clean. And we are good. So imagine we're having error earlier and the system has actually refined it. So if I click on execute and refine again, that means I want to make some modifications to this. No, 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 I don't want to go into this level again. So you can see this now. This works perfectly well. Instead of you having to go to ChatGPT and start prompting and coming back, pasting the code, you've gotten the whole result at once. So let's try it out one more time before we close this out. So I will click on this. I will unclick this, click on P. Remember that. Then I'm going to execute. So I'm asking it to do another research and generate another business idea for me. So we're going to talk more about this tomorrow, where you do how do you undo errors and what happens if you run a system, a workflow, and you didn't get the right result or it falls into an error. So now it has generated another idea for me: smart urban farming solutions. You can see the problem, target market size, revenue, and a few other information. So this can be applied in several ways. You can use it to build anything you want, and you can format it out however you want it. So let's quickly disable this. D, I just press D and I disable that. So let's delete this and let's enable this one. We have about just 15 minutes left. Hopefully we can make great use of this. So going to this. So let's execute this. Now, what's the difference between the first one and this second one? The first one, you can notice we don't have any form of input. And the information, the system goes online itself, generates an idea by itself, and displays the information for us. Now, what if I have in mind, I give you a task now and say, okay, build a system whereby the user will have to input the kind of idea they want to build, or let's say they want to build something related to health tech or prop tech or fintech. You understand what is the budget they have, and perhaps what kind of expectations or preferences would they like to have? Perhaps let me build an idea for this particular business for Nigeria or for Ghana or for Ethiopia or for United States, because your business idea is not completely global. You have to build it for a particular location. You get it now? So what I did there was I built an input form so that this allows you to enter information. Then this information is sent into your agent. Remember, your agent communicates with ChatGPT and SEP API, which is Google, does your research on Google, formats the information and displays it in HTML. I guess I hope you guys are not confused yet and you're following me gradually. So remember what we did here. So let me show you a reference to that. You can see here submit post detail. All I just did was carry this, duplicated it, brought it down here, and refine the code. Remember what I told you earlier? For example, um, so this particular one we used initially was used for social media. So all I just did was clicked on this add to N8N and told the system refine this form for a business idea input where the user specifies the industry or niche, the budget, and preferences. That's all. And the system will automatically fix that. Do you understand now? So just like what we did earlier. So let's execute this. Let's just play only this. So if you click on play button on only the first file, what happens is it only execute that single node. So take note of that. So if I want to run only this section, I'm going to click on just this. Do you understand now? So now you can see this business idea generator. Use this form to generate idea. So you add your niche or your industry, you add the budget, you add your business preferences and generate business idea. Just as simple as that. So I already explained this yesterday, so I won't go into the detail. And so stop listening. I showed you how to create this yesterday. You add your form description, you add your input states and field states and every other thing. If you have any question after this class, feel free to reach out to me. So now let's quickly talk about the agent. Remember, your agent is like your main engine, and this is where you specify information for the system to do or your workflow to work on. So here we have our user prompt, and I mentioned what system prompt is earlier to you. This is your, let's say, your universal truth for the system to take note of before even executing your user message, right? So here now you have, what did I do here? I made it very simple. I said research and analyze an innovative business idea based on the detail below. Number one, the niche, the budget, and the preference. How did I write this code? I didn't write any code. I will show you what I did. So here, remember our system prompt earlier? I just use it as exactly as it is before. So how did I get this code? Let me teach you a trick. So let's say you want to build a new agent. Let's close this. Click on plus, write agent. This is your new agent. Close this out. Draw this. Let's drag this in. Let's run this. Should we run it now? Okay, let's run this again. And let's say ag tech or something. I have about $1,000 and generate business idea. So the information has been sent right now. So that information sent, can you see now? Because I run it only once, I didn't run the entire flow. If I click on the execute workflow, it runs the entire flow. But if I click on only this one, it runs only this particular file. Do you get it now? Yeah. So now the information here is being pulled to this section, but now the agent hasn't recognized the information here. So what I will do now is this: if I open this, on the left hand side, this is your input. On the right hand side, this is your what? Output. Are you getting this now? If you want to go here, can you see this is the JSON structure? This is the tabular information of your information, and this is your schema. So here I can tell it, define below. So I can tell it use this information, blah, blah, blah. Do you see it now? So I will just say niche. Can you see now? Drag and drop. Can you see? Immediately the code is there. I can say this is the niche, column, enter. What is the second one? The second one is what? The budget, column. So all I have to do is, can you see this now? I will drag and drop it inside, and that's all. Enter. Oh, yes. Then what is the next one? Preference. Preference. So you drag and drop it here. Automatically, the system recognizes every information you add here. Then you can execute. It's just as simple as that. Okay. So then you connect your chart and you connect every other instruction. So let's quickly run this now. So let's see what happens when we execute the entire flow from scratch. So let's say I want to research an idea on fintech, and I have about $20,000. Then just generate business idea. So immediately I click on generate business idea, you can see now the system is going through the entire workflow. It's doing a research with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to Google to make detailed research based on present date. You can see ChatGPT is doing a lot of thinking with the agent and making use of this tool to go to Google to do more research. Then the information is being formatted. The information is being limited so that we don't have too long information and it will get displayed here. Can you see now? That's all. So now we have micro investment platform for emerging markets. Blah blah blah. This is a problem. This is a target market. This is a revenue model. These are key features, market validation, and other information. So let's do one more research. Let's say I want to build a business in real estate. So I will execute again now. I want to build a prop tech product. I have about $10,000. Nigeria focus for Nigerian markets. I pray it works. Now that's it. Doing the research, SEP API, formatting your research. Yeah, okay, let's display. Now, smart rental management platform. Can you see now? Then the Nigerian real estate market faces significant challenges, including efficient property management, lack of transparency in rental advice, landlords and property managers looking for efficient management, your tenants seeking these. Market size about $15 billion. Can you imagine? That is a very good business. So the revenue model, you ask for subscription fee from landlords to pay monthly fee for using the platform. Transaction fees, when tenants make payments, you get transaction fee. Advertising, companies can advertise on your platform. Key features and differentiators, the your UI, automated rent collection, transparent agreement, market validation, the trends, increasing smart home penetration, competitors, existing platform like Property Pro. Wow, this is huge. So demand signals, this is it. Implementation challenges that you should take note of, regulatory orders, markets, education, technology adoption. The success potential, 8/10. This business idea leverages technology to address real world problems in the Nigerian rental market, making it a compelling opportunity in the prop tech sector. Wow, this is interesting. So I hope you guys learned a lot and you can try to implement, duplicate this file, use it to build your own anything you can think of, any business idea, try it out, test the node. For you to try this out, I will advise you to build it from scratch. So you have all the assets here. So just try it out and the system would um, and try to build it out from scratch also so that you can learn how to do this. So if you see any element here and you don't know what the name is when you're searching here, so let me teach you one last thing. So if I click on this, I say, let me delete this. I'll just click on add to this. What is the name of this node and how do I find it in the tool section? Enter. So now the system is checking this node, so it will tell you what the name is so that you can go to tool section and search for it. So anytime you even import or you want to use a template, the system will check the file name, the asset, and tell you how exactly you click on the plus button, that is this one. You can see on the search bar, type form or N8N form. Can you see now? So look for N8N form trigger. This is it. So I will click on, remember I said trigger, not actions. So I click on this. So you can see on new N8N form event. So I click on that. I can close it. Let's find it. Can you see? We just got this now. Perfect. So there is nothing on the system now. Thank God for AI that you cannot do yourself. And even if you need something, you can ask it to help you build it from scratch and it will build it for you. So I hope you learned a lot of things during this class and I hope I didn't get you bored. Based on everything we learned so far, I guess you've understood how to build your own complete API workflow. We're able to communicate with a third-party API called SEP API built by Google. and we're able to communicate with it. And our ChatGPT was able to go online to do research about business ideas and give us the results. I also mentioned about the weather app, whereby you can import or use APIs from the weather app here, use it in your system to find daily weather reports. Then also, we talked about passing complex nested JSON information. We're going to talk more about this later in our next classes. So when all this information came out, it was a lot of data and it wasn't well formatted. Can you see this? So we decided to structure the information to come out in a much cleaner way and even limit it out. So where we use the HTML format to format the entire information, which is much cleaner than what you see here. Can you see the difference now? So then also we talked about integrating AI nodes seamlessly. I told you how you can use the N8N node AI to look for nodes, to even create a totally different workflow. And when our HTML node was having issue, what did we use? We used the AI to make the corrections. So implement conditional logic. We're going to be talking about this in our next class. You can say this is a true and false statement. So which means if this thing run perfectly well, send it here. But if it doesn't run well, do this particular action. We're going to talk more about this in our next class, hopefully. Then designing robust error handling. That is what I just mentioned right now. So thank you very much. I hope you learned a lot. Try and practice because you can only learn by practice. So next class we might do a lot of more theory. Today we did a lot of practical. So next class we might do a lot of theory so that you understand a little more and you can know how to build your own system from scratch and even get to work with businesses, either startup or fully funded companies. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in our next class. Take care. Bye bye.